promise, Hermes Vault. My name is Jess, resident here at the Hermes Vault. This afternoon we are hosting a specialist hour-long show where we will be going through a few of the new-ins into the vault. We have some amazing new pieces, lots of bags, a few shoes, potentially some accessories, I think 2 if we have time. I believe Rachel is moderating remotely today, so I'm here on my own. So if you have any questions at all, please do message us. Just make sure I've turned on all of the messaging. Okay, fantastic. So I can see lots of any lovely messages that start coming through. If you have any questions, as I say, I'm on my own in the vault today, so please feel free to make me feel a little bit less lonesome by asking any questions on the pieces. Rachel will, of course, be posting very shortly all of the ways, if you wish to shop any of the pieces that we're featuring, she will be sharing all of the ways in which you can pay very shortly. I don't think my messaging has started. Ooh, there we go. Just make sure that's all turned on. Okay, so as any of our regular viewers will know, any resident at the Hermes Vault, we are literally hosting a specialist hour. So we will be going through some of the super special featured pieces that we have received recently into the vault. These include a whole variety of bags, new colours, some beautiful new colours, just as a little teaser, including one of my personal favourites from this last season, which is the Bourgeon, which you can see sort of highlighting over here, and a new fan favourite from all of our Hermes collectors, which is the Vert Fizz, which is appearing here. Right, okay, I don't know if my messaging is working. Oh, hello Mara, hi, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining us. We're just going to wait for a few more people to join and then maybe we can start going through a few of the bags. Hello, I can see a few more people joining us. Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, all right, shall we get started? I think Rachel will share all of the details and the ways in which you can pay, obviously by bank transfer, card. Split It is up and working again, which is our fantastic layaway service where you can obviously start to pay in installments. Hi, Rach! She's joined us. Maybe I was a little bit premature. Was I a little bit early? Okay. Right, it's just too keen to get started, obviously, because we've got some beautiful pieces in this afternoon. There are also some, another show. Oh, I'm sorry, I must have tuned in before we went live. Let me just make sure all of my comments are coming up so I can see what's happening. My comments box is looking a bit strange today. Okay, cool. All right, great. So Rach will share very shortly all of the ways in which we can facilitate payment for any of the items that you will be seeing on the show today. Everything is shoppable, and the icon will appear at the top of the screen where you can click in and find any further information about the product. But obviously, if you are joining us live, please do feel free to message and we can answer any questions in live time. Hi Michelle, how are you doing? Okay, yes, fantastic. Hello Jess, I have a question. How much would a new Dogon in Rose Shakura be worth? Ooh, good question. Do you know what? We don't actually see very many wallets. However, Rose Sakura, as I'm sure you know, is a very super sought after colour. The Dogon wallet isn't hugely popular, I would say, in terms of resale, but it certainly would be worth more, I would say, than the retail value if it's Rose Sakura. Is it Chevra? I believe it's only available in Chevra leather or Swift. Tell me what leather is it? very interesting. We do actually source, because quite a lot of the wallets that come through our doors and are consigned with us are generally available at a little bit less than retail pricing, simply because often they are a sort of a side item purchase when a client is in store, and they are less, obviously if they've been given a bag that they are less enthused by, they might want to swap up or sort of upsell it or swap it for a piece that they're actually after, at which point it would obviously be worth the market pricing. Thanks so much, Swift. I have one, just wanted to know how much I could sell the Rose Sakura for. Okay, send us some pictures, by all means DM us, and we can obviously give you sort of live pricing and whether it is something that you wanted to consign or sell. And we can give you an idea of pricing. Message me, no, wait for a quote. Yes, perfect. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. All right, should we get started? We have got some insanely beautiful bags. I'm going to start with my personal favourite, I think. Let's start high. It's a new colour. We've received 2 pieces in this colour, and they're the only ones that I have seen. So first up today is, the colour is Jaune Bourgeon. Okay, Rachel's a big fan of this colour too, I know. It is the most insane sort of rich yellow. It's in Shafra leather. Obviously, Minnie Kelly's generally only coming in Shafra and Epsom at the moment. So Palladium hardware, Jaune Bourgeon. This is an incredible sort of rich, limey green. Kay, oh, do you have Constant Slim? Is it worth to invest on that? They're very cute, the slim sort of wallets. You can use them as a wallet. You can actually attach, they come with a little attachment on the back to be worn as a belt as well. They do tend to go for a premium on the secondary market, depending on the colour. Obviously, some colours more sought after than others. We generally see them actually attached with a belt. Sorry, I'm in the US and haven't had my coffee yet. If you got distracted by the Birkin, Michelle, was that what you were asking to look at? I'm also in need of a coffee. It is the greyest day in London. The ring light always makes everything look lovely and shiny, but London is dull today, so I need an afternoon coffee, Michelle. Okay, right, let's get back to our Jaune Bourgeon, and then we can move on to anything else that you've spotted in the background. Okay, so Minnie Kelly, 20 centimetre, Jaune Bourgeon in Shafra leather. So this is a new sort of 2021 release colour, and it is just the most amazing, bright, sort of yellowy green colour. One of my favourite historic Hermes shades is the Vert Anise, and it's a very sort of acidic, similar to a very acidic sort of, maybe slightly more pastel than the Venice, but it's one of those colours that sits really beautifully. I'm wearing sort of a brown tone today. It actually looks amazing against neutral colours. It really does pop. It is one of my personal favourites, which is why we started with it today. So this one is brand new, full set. It is Zed Stamp, but with a 2022 receipt on this one. So it is pretty store fresh. It comes complete, obviously. The majority of the pieces in the vault are actually new, unworn, and therefore will come complete with all packaging, paperwork, accessories, plastic on the hardware present there as well, even on the turnkey, which is becoming more and more unusual. And as Rachel has kindly pinned, yes, all customs and duties for our overseas clients are covered for items purchased during the show. So it's a huge saving, obviously, on the premium pricing pieces. It is amazing. Beautiful colour with white. Yes, white summer dresses. For anyone overseas who is still enjoying a nice warm climate, who can still get away without wearing 3 layers, as I was this morning. If the temperature hasn't dropped, this is a great sort of warm weather piece. The colour is just insane. But I do actually really love it sitting against other darker, more neutral colours, because I really think you can use it as a great accent colour to really lift slightly more muted colours. Okay, so pricing for this, which Rachel has kindly pinned to the bottom of the screen there, and it is obviously available to click on at the top of the screen, is priced at £26,950, and that is $29,795 US. Unbelievable. Really super rare colour, incredible investment piece, this one. I really genuinely love this colour. I've picked a few favourites actually. I've been away for a couple of weeks and therefore thought it was an excellent opportunity to incorporate some of my own personal favourites that have come in the last few weeks. Okay, we will move on to a Birkin. I'm not sure, Michelle, did you mention there was a Birkin in the background that you wanted to look at? If not, I will move on perhaps to an amazing Celia Birkin that we have just received. This colour is Blue Broom. It's a serious fan favourite, the Blue Broom. I'm just going to remove this rather beautiful little rodeo so that you get the full effect of the bag. Oops, we are a little bit tangled. Let's get that off so we can get the full impact of this absolute beauty. Okay, this is a B25 Cellier, so you can see the stitching obviously on the outside. Blue Broom Birkin in Epsom leather and with palladium hardware. Do you have a Celia Birkin? Trying to see if I want a Celia or a Torn. Okay, Michelle, excellent timing. This is the B25 Cellier, so obviously structured. If you are looking for something that is quite powerful in appearance, structured, sits a little bit off the body, okay? So if you are carrying this in Epsom leather, it's very rigid, very structured, and therefore it doesn't sort of sit on the body, it sits off the body. If you are looking for something a little bit softer, we actually have a couple featured on the show today, but just as a comparison, we'll move on to this absolute stunner very shortly. But in terms of structure, it's much softer. The retourne style stitching here is visible. So much softer, it sits a bit better on the body. So if you wanted something that was a little bit more, I would say more casual really, depending on the size that you're looking for. I think the B25 you can still dress up a little bit more because it's that bit smaller, a bit more compact. You like structure, so definitely, Michelle, I'm behind the Celia Birkin. I really like nice clean lines. I think this bag, or this style of bag particularly, sits really beautifully and holds its shape wonderfully. Okay, Jessie's joined us. Hi Jessie, how are you doing? She's very kindly pinned this bag for us. So the details are visible at the bottom of the screen, if you can see there. So it's the 25 centimetre Cellier in Blue Broom. Lovely icy blue colour, which particularly with this palladium hardware is obviously in the ring light, it looks quite, I'm just going to turn the light down a teeny tiny bit so you get the full effect of the blue. So it is a very icy blue. Sometimes our ring light really washes colour out a little bit. It is priced at £26,345, and that is $29,655 US. It is unbelievable. As with the previous piece, it is brand new, unworn, in box, full set. It's stunning. This colour is incredibly hard to get your hands on. It is a Zed Stamp issue with 2021 receipt, but it is completely unworn. As you can see, all of the plastics are visible on the hardware, including the feet studs, as you can see. So immaculate. And in terms of, you know, that beautiful kind of trapezium shape, very sort of reminiscent, obviously, of the Kelly bag, the Celia Birkins, because historically, for a very long time, Hermes weren't producing the Birkin in a Celia style. Only really the Kelly bags came in this amazing structured Cellier shape. Is a 30 too big in Cellier? Not at all. I actually think they are even more impressive. So the first Cellier Birkins we started to see were in 35. In that amazing, I don't know if anybody remembers from my previous shows, I used to put it quite high in the, because it was a really striking style, in the sort of the multicoloured sunrise and sunset Birkins. Although the small handles on the 24 will drive me nuts. Okay, if you are tall, I'm saying, what's 69? Oh no, I'm not good at inches, Michelle. How tall is that in feet? 69. So I'm probably 5'6". I'm wearing like sneakers today, so what structure is worth more in the resale market? Ooh, Joe, completely depends on the combination. I would say initially the Cellier bags really came in quite high, simply because they were such a novelty and they hadn't been seen before in the Birkin. When they did come in, they were definitely outstretching the Retourné, but I do think the softer bags are sort of making a little bit of a comeback, and they've more or less leveled out a little bit now. I think you want a 30 or maybe 35. I am 100% team 30, just simply because every single day it is easy and you can't you know, I personally can't overfill a 30 with it then being too heavy. The issue with some of the bigger bags, we've actually got a hack on the show later, which when you start overfilling them, they weigh an absolute ton, like genuinely more than a toddler. So you would struggle. 5'9". Okay, you can definitely carry off a bigger bag. Yes, I do think in that case the B25 might be a little bit too dinky. And just for comparison's sake, I will see, what have we got left in a Cellier Birkin? Let me have a look. They actually don't tend to hang around for very long. Let me see, I've got a gold here in 30, which is kind of an always present colour in our showroom. We always have a lot of gold, and this is a perfect example of the 30 centimetre Cellier style Birkin. So it's like a little bit bigger. It is much easier. Like I genuinely struggle, just even though I'm quite slight wristed, but I apparently have bigger hands, especially these gloves don't do them any justice. You tend to struggle to put your wrist comfortably through a 25 centimetres, which is why, again, the 30 centimetres is more wearable rather than just carryable. So I would say, I'm going to tiptoe, probably 5'7". So just in terms of how comfortable that is to hold and wear and sort of size-wise, just to give you scale idea. It's a really, really easy size, and I still think in the Cellier style, so this one is DM to purchase, just in case anybody was wondering. This one wasn't due to be featured on the show today. Oh, a skew. Jessie, I don't have a skew, but if anybody was interested, we can obviously, please do DM us and we can obviously share all the information for you, but just for Michelle's reference, in terms of the Cellier style on 30, I love it. I think it's a really, firstly, it's a super solid investment piece. The 25 is still at more of a premium than the 30. So in terms of like it being a good relative market purchase, is a really good pricing. Classic colours, obviously. Michelle, were you considering a classic colour, or were you looking at going a little bit rogue with one of the sort of seasonal colours? I mean, this in gold, I do super love it with the gold hardware. I'm very much on the classics, a team gold. Obviously black, a tan. Although we have a slightly more surprising tan on the show very shortly. It's one of the colours that they have introduced with rose gold hardware, which I'm a really big fan of too. But just for size-wise, that is your 30 centimetre in Cellier, and I do think still, even despite the sort of the chunkier structure, it still really works in the Cellier style. Okay, we'll move on to that teaser we've just dropped for the tan. Dark neutral. Love that. We do actually have a tan coming in Cellier style, I believe. I saw recently. So stay tuned to our shows and we will make sure that that is featured when it arrives. Michelle, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. And in a taupe, potentially. I don't know if that's one of the colours that you're considering, but that's also a really, really great classic neutral. Okay, move on to our next B25, which is this amazing Etain. So gris Etain, one of the cornerstones of the Hermès neutral family, in rose gold hardware. Really beautiful blush undertones in the rose gold hardware. This is obviously a 25 centimetre. It's in Togo leather, which is lovely and soft and supple. But as I mentioned earlier, I do sort of struggle. I can get it on my wrist, but does it sit comfortably? Not nearly as comfortable as these. So I think if you are intending to just carry your Birkin rather than wear it on the wrist, I think the B25 is great for carrying, less so for wearing. So this lovely, soft, supple Togo leather. Hi Nadia, how are you doing? Oh, thank you. I have missed doing my little segments during the week. I've been on holiday. We've just been mad busy with appointments in the vault, which is obviously great. I don't know if anybody tuned into Sabrina's show last Friday. There's another one tomorrow night with other Jess from Miami, and I'm going to be joining her next week in Miami, which is very exciting, and hopefully we'll be able to do a show from there as well with our beautiful beachy background. It's very unlike the current situation outside of my window here, which is quite grey today. But yes, so we potentially have that on the cards in the coming weeks actually. How have you been, Nadia? Okay, you've joined us at the perfect time. This absolute beauty in Etain, in Togo leather, B25, rose gold hardware, immaculate. It is brand new. Absolutely beautiful. Is this Bleu Orage? No, Jessie, this is the Etain B25. Bleu Orage is on our list. It's another one of my favourites at the moment. Very, very subtle, beautiful blue tone. This is the Gris Etain. Jessie, I don't know if that should have been on our list. Got it? Okay, cool. It's in there somewhere. Right. Beautiful grey undertone. Really super sort of flat, deep grey. Sits, again, the neutral colour palette sits really beautifully against so many colours. So really in terms of wearability, you're going to get many, many miles out of the Gris Etain. Similar to the taupes and the gold tone pieces. They really, really do have a lot of wearability. So this one in the 25 centimetre in Togo with that beautiful rose gold hardware is priced at £24,750, and that is $27,860 US. Very grateful for the chance to learn from you if you're only going to have 2 Hermès bags. Ooh, if I was only going to have 2 Hermès bags, what would they be and in what colour combos? Kimberly, I don't think I can put them in 2, but okay, so the next bag I was actually going to move to, this is a good, perfectly timed question, Kimberly, because my personal favourite here, okay, this is a colour that hasn't been produced in a very long time. This here is a hack bag, but the leather detailing here is Vert Veronese, and it is honestly the most beautiful deep green. So this is the hack bag. This is the original Birkin. This is the original riding sort of saddle bag that would be attached to your horse. Obviously Hermes being a heritage saddlery brand, leather goods brand. This colour is amazing. I absolutely adore it. If they were going to be bringing, and this is a good indication, perhaps they might be bringing this colour back, I would jump at the chance for a B30 gold hardware in this colour. I just love the greens. I really think they've, and there's invested a lot in doing some beautiful bright colours recently. This green. So essentially the bag that are, 2 of the bags in fact, that I would want don't yet exist in the Hermes colour chart, which is why they've sort of eluded me for some time. The other bag that we spoke about earlier in the Bourgeon, I love this colour so much. And if they were going to produce this in a larger size Kelly, I would be all over that. This one I think looks much better with palladium hardware. Ooh, lost connection. Oh, hello again. It might have been me actually, to be honest. We've got 5Gs, we're good. So yeah, I would definitely go for B30 Vert Veronese in this lovely green gold hardware, and a slightly larger Kelly, probably a 28, if not a 25, in Bourgeon. Oh, I just love these acidic colours so much. I was very tempted by a K28 lime, but it's just that little bit too yellow for my skin tone. I think like the acidic colours. So in answer to your question, Kimberly, they don't exist. That's why I'm desperate always. I'm constantly hunting. Love, obviously, we have an amazing selection of bags always coming through from our Singapore office. Always super keen for some of the heritage colours, some of the more historic colours to come back out, so that we can kind of work out where Hermes are going to go with their colours next. I always find it really fascinating when they introduce a new colour or they bring back a historic colour. So this hack is a good indication that perhaps this amazing Vert Veronese might be coming back into the colour charts. Kimberly, what are your 2 dream bags? Same question back at you. What's on your wish list? So this hack, for an example, is a 40 centimetre hack. It is, as you can see, quite large. It's an amazing travel bag though. We're seeing lots and lots of these doing the rounds on social media at the moment. They're always finished really beautifully with leather corners. I think Jessie has already very kindly pinned the price for this one. So this one is in Vert Veronese and Ecru. It's got this lovely toile base to it, which goes all the way around. And obviously, regardless of the size, you can obviously tell that the Hermes market pricing is not dictated by size. In fact, it is the reverse, because the better priced bags are always very large, and the really sort of super premium pieces always very tiny. So this one, obviously priced, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, is £19,250 and $21,669 US. They are beautiful pieces. They are so immaculately made. They have the most amazing, really super chunky hardware on the front there. I mean, the colour, I don't know if it's doing it justice on the ring light today, but it is such a beautiful green. It's a lovely sort of army green. I love it. Love this colour so much. So beautiful. But it's in my hit list. If they start reproducing this colour, it is 100% going to be on my hit list. I don't know why at the minute I'm really drawn to green. It's also my son's favourite colour, so most of my house is becoming green, so I'm just merging into the Grinch. Okay, another green bag? Should we do? I've really genuinely picked a lot of green today, but they are all spectrum of greens. So we have got here a fantastic price alert, okay? Swift bags are wonderfully... Ooh, did someone buy the blue broom? I don't think so. I don't know. Has anyone fess up? Has somebody bought the blue broom? It is an absolute dream bag. Oh, still available, Jess said. Okay, great, it is still available. It is unbelievably beautiful, still hiding in the bottom of my screen. Okay, back to our current deal alert. Swift bags. I don't understand why they come in so much. Ooh, it says out of stock. Ooh, okay. Let us look into that, Nadia. It is 100% available. It is still here, hiding behind me. Okay, would you show the constants at the back? I absolutely can move on to the constants. That one will have to be a DM to purchase because it was just a filler bag today. Jessie will look into the availability on the blue broom for you. In the meantime, back to our beautiful Versapress Swift Leather K25. So Swift Leather bags are coming in really, really good value at the moment. It's personally one of my favourite leathers. I really genuinely rate this leather. Any scuffs and scratches are really easily buffed out of Swift. You can really sort of smooth out the leather. Unlike Epsom, which I guess the miscommunication or the misconception about Epsom leather is it's hard and therefore it's more durable. I would slightly disagree with that because the minute you've scuffed Epsom, it's super tricky to get any, really tricky to get any scuffs and scratches out. Because it's a synthetic grain, so it's very obvious when any of the grain has been lifted. Whereas with a really smooth leather bag, like this beautiful Swift in this lovely sort of Versapress green, very rich, deep green colour, scuffs can be removed quite easily with a soft cloth. This one is priced at, I mean, fantastic secondary market pricing for a brand new unworn full set. This one is a U Stamp 2022 receipt, so store fresh, people. This in Swift leather with palladium hardware is £18,500, and that is $20,824 US. Okay, there were some questions, Kimberly. Oh, I have a black Togo Birkin 35 gold hardware, classic, ultimate classic, favourite. Thought it would be my only one, my dream bag, but as it goes, it's just got you started. It's always the way, right? It's like the first, it's like the first hit suddenly, but that's a fantastic starter bag, like first investment bag. B35 black Togo gold, unreal. When I first started sourcing bags, that was like the ultimate entry bag, simply because it covers all your bases. It's perfect. There was an error. Blue Broom should be available on site. Thank you, Jessie, for fixing that. That's fantastic. You can never have Hermes satisfaction. Oh dear, I completely agree. I mean, truly, it's so difficult because the minute you think that you've kind of covered all your bases and you've got all of your palettes sorted, you know, every bag for every outfit, they bring out a colour that you just cannot resist. And I'm always waiting for my next dream, and that's, I think, why I've got the greens in mind. But then I almost think that I've picked bags that might never be produced. So, I mean, it saves money, I guess, right? which is maybe it's my inner sensible person. My first visit to a boutique was offered. No way! That is like the dream experience, Kimberly. I love that. Chai was the most amazing colour. Yeah, I didn't think they could bring out a better neutral, and then they brought out biscuit and chai, both of which, very similar tonally, both of which are beautiful in person. They really are beautiful, beautiful neutral colours. Okay, so we've covered our gorgeous Versapress. I'm going to move on to the Constance, which was requested. Now, this is a DM to purchase, not initially on the show, but since you keenly spotted it in the back of the screen, we will go through this lovely 18 centimetre Constance in Epsom leather. It is honestly beautiful with palladium hardware. So the drop of the Constance handle, for anybody who hasn't seen one in flesh before, is this lovely adaptable strap that can be worn over the shoulder, sort of at half length. It's a really great size, the 18 centimetre. And then you can also wear it crossbody. I'll just show here. Oh, watch the earrings. And it sits really nicely on me, just sort of at hip height. It's a really lovely, lovely shape, the Constance. And obviously you have that ultimate, really chunky hardware. This bag we actually have both in palladium, in the Nata, in palladium hardware and gold. So if you are Team Gold, we also have that available. This one is DM to purchase. Again, 18 centimetre Constance in Nata. DM to purchase on that one. That is the dream. Insane. I think like the chai better than a tube. Ooh, controversial. I mean, I love a tube. I love the contrast stitching. I think it's something obviously you don't find in many colours, so it's a real highlight in the colour charts. How does it work at Hermes? If you are very open with your wish, then you're more likely to get called. Joe, it kind of really depends on the sales assistant that you have. I really do rate building up a good relationship with your sales associate, because, you know, that goes a long, long way. I think if you are fortunate enough to stumble upon one, or somebody who can really look after you and really kind of listen to your wishes, it's such a lottery. It genuinely is such a lottery. I think the best thing to do is to be as open as possible with colour options, and, you know, maybe not be so picky about hardware if you're really, and sizes potentially, and then you've sort of covered all of your bases. Although then I also know somebody who went in and was like, I only want black in B30 palladium hardware. It's the only bag I want. It wasn't the only bag that she wanted, naturally, but it was the first bag that she wanted. And she did actually get it within about 6 months. And that's a fantastic story, but they are very, very few and far between. In London, that's so hard to do. It is, you can't even get in the store. The queue is actually unbelievable at all times of day. They send you to leather goods, you can't build anything, that's true. There's, like, availability is very limited across the board at the moment. We've definitely seen that off the bat with that feedback from clients. We've certainly heard a lot recently. For shoes, it's one SA. For clothes, it's another. Yes, you're right, it's very difficult to build up a relationship with an SA across the board who can actually help you with all things. Especially if you do genuinely want to buy from all product categories, it can be very, very difficult, particularly in London, as you say, Nadia. I went into the store, did my wish, took 20 seconds on iPad, didn't feel very effective. I don't know what the next steps are. It's kind of like just waiting for that phone to ring or the email to come through. In the US, 1.5 years later, still waiting. So they do expire. I don't know if the process is the same in the US, but certainly in the UK they do expire now after a year. DC is hard on a 7-hour round trip, so it's hard to go in. Oh my gosh, yes, 100%. If it takes 7 hours to get there and back, and then you've got to spend an hour or two in store, that is a dedication, Michelle. So I'm actually really pleased that the bag gods were smiling on you and granted you your B35 on your first attempt, because if you're going to do that much traveling, you really do need to be able to get something to show for it, I think. If you get called and get your bag, can you? You're sort of limited to 2 bags to 4 bags a year, I believe, unless they've changed that. So you can actually just register for a new wish. Whether that helps you when you've already purchased something and the only thing on your purchase history is a bag, I don't know. Yes, just have to wait. In the UK, they say, oops, they are giving bags to people without any purchase history. Yeah, it has happened. I've heard it several times now with clients who have gone in and bought some perfume, left a wish, and then happily got the phone call to say, your bag's arrived, would you like it? But then you have a very short window to go in and get it. So if you are living a long way away from your store, then that can also obviously be a little bit of an issue. Just have to wait in the UK. They say they can price people for university, expire after 8 months in the UK now. I think they extended, did they not extend it to a year? Because I know it was 6 months initially, then it went to 8 months. I'm not sure, Lou, if they've extended it to a year now. That was certainly the case when I popped into Bond Street very recently. So hard to get info, everyone says different things. Yes, it's true. The rumour mill is rife at all times. The Hermes rumour mill is constant. Okay, right, should we move on to some other bags? Charlie, best it to purchase Hermes in the airport behind Charles de Gaulle. Yeah, I mean, again, the airport can be really, really tricky as well. It depends on the sales, isn't there? There's so many different attributes that help that help in order to get a bag. Okay, we've had some like great chat. Jess, you only get a call and email as well. I think you can ask for a preference. I've had emails previously before. I was offered a 24/24 via email, and then I know lots of people do get calls from their essays as well. But I generally think it's email. People tend to put email as a preference. Ooh, some airport, Shani, did you have luck in Abu Dhabi? Heathrow gets constants and 24s, no Birkins, Kellys. Yeah, saw lots of 24s and Lindys and things. So the thing is, obviously, we see lots of receipts. So when the bag comes in, we can see generally where, and we do see a lot of airport purchases for the smaller bags, which we can move into. I have a beautiful mini Lindy. Personal fave. Colours, yellow. Yellow is a dream. This is a really cute, I know we're moving into winter here in Europe, but look at this colour. So beautiful. Lime, I purchased the Jaune Curcuma Orange, which were really hard to get hold of. For one stage, I idiotically paid a premium for them, and now they're available on the website again. But I love the yellow, and I get so many comments on them actually. This is the Jaune Curcuma, which we have a couple still left in stock. But I was desperate for the colour, and this is Lime Mini Lindy with palladium hardware. It's in Clemence leather. This is Stamp 2022. So the Mini Lindy, everybody knows the big chunky Lindys. A few years ago, they re-released it in this small size, which I really, really rate. I think it's a really young, contemporary take on a classic. I do super love this size, this colour. I just think the grain is beautiful. It's a really lovely crossbody bag. Obviously you can also just wear it over the shoulder. It sits a little bit longer. Everything is really accessible in a Lindy, which is why I think they're so popular, because they're really easy to wear. You don't have to worry about too many sort of top flaps and things. It looks as cute. Open with like the little zipper open as it does close. So there's your zipper acts as your little sangles as well, which is a really nice detail. And you can fit loads in it. They're really quite good size-wise. You can always pop cards and things in the little pockets on the side. Love the Mini Lindy. Jessie, do we have pricing? Yes, oh, look at that, perfect timing. The pricing on the Mini Lindy is still obviously at a premium to store pricing, because they are becoming incredibly hard to get hold of. But this beautiful Lime Mini Mini Lindy is available at £10,945, and that is $12,320 US. Really, really gorgeous. Okay, let's go back, because I think Natalie asked a question. Any tips on building a relationship with SA? I spent nearly £20,000, still haven't got offered any bags. I mean, if that's the case, then maybe you might have to let that SA go. But a lot of the time it is just building up a personal connection. It can be a real effort, but once you do sort of potentially get your first bag, it generally always leads to other purchases or getting offered other bags. But it's a process. It's 100% a process, as with sort of any of the brands nowadays. You really do have to build up that rapport and start the spending history early. I know Chanel are doing exactly the same thing. They're trying to be Hermes. And it's definitely getting harder to get some of the classics in store. Bye from LP. Nadia, I like the way you think. It's 100% the reason why we exist is because most clients do find the process so infuriating. They would rather get the bag that they want immediately with the premium pricing and not have to go through that whole process. You can completely understand the logic and why the secondary market exists, to support the access, really, for clients who don't want to go through that whole labour, as it essentially is, to try and get hold of a bag. Okay, very quickly, we're going to, we've honestly almost run out of time. I'm sorry, I've been talking incessantly about process, but obviously we love having questions. And if we can help you get your dream bag, absolutely. We have a lot of clients, I'm not gonna lie, that will buy the bag they want, still keep a wish list at Hermes, and when that wish comes through, if it's not the bag they want, they obviously buy the bag with Hermes, consign it with us, and then that goes towards the initial sort of additional spend that they would have put towards their original purchase, if that makes sense. I don't know if I've explained that terribly well, but yeah, the logic is there. Okay, next we've got a couple, should we do some shoes? We've got a new pair of really incredibly comfortable Shafra, everybody enunciates them differently. Okay, this incredible colour is the blue pinade, I believe, and ecru wool skin. So it's like a denim blue in suede. These are unreal. Joe, do you only consign Hermes bags? No, we do both. We can stock them depending on how popular a bag is. We can certainly look if you had something you can sign, DM us. So, still hoping for a bag this year. Our general manager in Lisbon said no, only one bag a year. Oof. It's so unkind, so unkind. How can you limit yourself to one bag a year? But the shoes have essentially come limited pieces as well. Does the Touch Birkin come in Cellier? Good question. Or would you recommend getting a Touch? Completely depends on the colour. I love some of the colour combinations. Some of them are a bit wild. I did see an ostrich, croc, framboise, and I can't remember the red tone. That was a bit wild. So in terms of like investment, I'm not sure how far that goes. But there are some really beautiful neutral touches. I saw some beautiful navy blue options with matte. It depends if you're into matte or shiny. I personally really do love the matte combinations with Togo. There's a beautiful chai that I've seen recently in matte alligator and Togo leather. Unbelievable combination. The Beat on Touch, Natalie, yes, beautiful combination. Birkin for life, I do think, yeah, the Touch, if you like exotics, it's a really nice introduction. You don't obviously have the humongous price tag that the exotics command, so it needs to last. I mean, yeah, chai and beton, I would say if you want it to be a forever bag, those sorts of tones, because you have black, something lighter that you can work into everything, beton or chai, beautiful, really, really beautiful in the Touch style. And they started introducing it into other bags in the collection as well, so we've seen little Touch Pickertons and Lindys. I would say, from personal preference, a Touch Birkin over a Touch Kelly, because you get a little bit more exotic. Obviously, the Touch Kellys generally only have exotic on the handle and the sangles, which is less impactful. So the Birkin in the Touch obviously has the full top flap in exotic. Really, really beautiful combinations in those neutral colours, certainly. Jessie is very kindly pinned. Gosh, sorry, I'm having an absolute nightmare with gloves today. These, which are in a 40.5, and that is so a European 40.5 is a UK 7.5 and a US 10.5, and they are available at £13,075, and that is 1,547 US dollars. Can't read today. It's one of those mornings. Okay, right. Should we do one last bag? What have we got? We've got 10 minutes. Has anybody seen anything they're itching for information on? If not, we will go and do our vet viz. This is an incredible 2022 colour. We have already had this iteration in once. It sold immediately in the K25 Epsom Cellier Vert Fizz. So a new 2022 colour. Unreal green, really soft, pale sort of apple green. Honestly, I don't think it's doing it justice on the ring lights. I'm just going to turn the light down a little bit So you can see this beautiful green tone. With palladium hardware, they have only made this colour in a few different iterations. So K25, it's come in the pochette, which we also have available, and the beautiful Minnie Kelly here. So again, it sits really nicely with palladium hardware. Vert Fizz is the new colour. So I was really fascinated to see this because they don't tend to do such pale colours. They introduced this and the mauve pale at very similar times, so it's a really pale pink. But again, it's only been seen in the smaller sizes. It's a really special colour combination. This one is immediately available to purchase. Oh gosh, I've missed a load of messages. Sorry, I scrolled up and then I've missed lots of chat. Right, let's start from the bottom. So, Jessie's kindly pinned this bag and we will just go through the pricing very quickly. Okay, right, so this one is priced at, the premium obviously on these new colours when they first come in is high. So this one is priced at £30,745 and that is $34,608 US. Very important, 8. And that is available to shop via the icon at the top. Right, let me very quickly just go back to the chat because I missed a few of these. Looking for one back of life, yes, we love the Beton touch, love the chai touch. Hi Nina, how are you doing? Thank you very much for joining us. Just it's one a year anyways, but we don't even get one a year this year. We are 3 and got 1. Oh, that's not a great strike rate now, Nadia, is it? Can you show the Verts Press again? Nina, I'm obsessed with this colour. It's such a good price point as well. Yes, we can. Go back and have a little look. Let's pop my gloves back on. Right, we can absolutely spend the last few minutes going through this. The price is so good, actually. Kelly Retorn 2528. Maureen, you've joined us perfectly. We're going to go back. So the details are actually already pinned to the show. We will show the Verts Press again. Absolutely. Nadia got a mauve pale Kelly to go. Ooh, love the colour. Isn't it really beautiful? That's a really nice, easy, wearable size, the Kelly to go. It's a really cute, Nadia, that's a great little purchase in that colour. I think it's going to be a really, really good colour moving forward. Okay, Verts Press K25. Details again are pinned. And the icons at the top of the screen. It is a beautiful green. It's a really, really good price point in Swift leather. I literally just spent 15 minutes going on about how much I love Swift leather. It's a really, I do genuinely rate it as a very easy, wearable, quite discreet combination with the palladium hardware. It's a really good price point. The Swift leather bags really do come in at such a great price point. Yes, just such a light pink. Yeah, it's a really beautiful, very pale, as in the name. Much paler than sort of a mauve Sylvestre. The mauve pale is a really light, soft pink. Lots of times we've been forwarded the photograph and it looks very, very pale, where it's obviously been washed out in the daylight, but it's, yeah, really soft, subtle pink, lovely. I mean, price-wise, Nina, this is absolutely brilliant. It's honestly one of my favourite bags that's come in recently. It's 25 centimetres, so obviously it comes with a crossbody strap. It is brand new, in box, full set. I can't rave about it enough. It was one of the first pieces I chose to go in the show. I've kind of built the show around this and the Bourgeon, to be honest, because I just think they are brilliant, brilliant purchases. Like genuinely excellent purchases. I'm tempted but don't know about Swift leather. Ooh, okay. Well, personally, I do adore Swift. I genuinely think it's a really, really good leather, simply because, we touched on it earlier, essentially any scuffs and scratches on Swift leather can generally be buffed out, really gently buffed out of the leather, because it's still got a very delicate grain. I don't know if you can see on camera, but it has that lovely, delicate kind of patina. It's got a slight shine. It's not shiny like box. It's just beautifully smooth. It wears really well. It doesn't crease as quite aggressively as Epsom. Obviously, where Epsom is really tough, creases tend to really ingrain themselves in the leather. Scratches are very difficult to get out. But Swift really, I think, obviously we have to be a little bit careful of the corners. But in terms of the sort of the main body of the bag, I think Swift leather really does stand the test of time. Really want this colour, but I've thought about Togo, but it looks pretty in this leather. I genuinely think it looks nicer in Swift. I also have this lovely Kelly Dance in the same colour, which was part of the show as well. This is with obviously gold hardware, so they do look quite different. I don't know if you can see, but in terms of the colour with different hardware, as we always mention, it does make it look like a sort of a flatter green. Yes, I do think because of the patina, it looks more green in the Swift leather. I think also with the gold hardware, it looks a little bit less so, if that makes any sense. And this is Evercolour leather, so it's got a bit more grain to it. It's still quite a flat leather. This is obviously a Kelly Dance, so you have loads of opportunities to wear this quite differently. My favourite of which is actually to be able to wear it as a belt bag, which looks really, really cute. If you're wearing like a big jacket, you can wear it underneath. It's very, very discreet, but it's quite cute. You can obviously also wear it over the shoulder. The handle, I don't think is inside, or the strap rather, I don't think it's inside it, otherwise I would show you. Let me just double check. But I think, Jessie, we have pricing information for the dance as well. No, the strap's not in there. I will make sure it's prepared a bit better next time and show you all the options and the ways that we can wear the dance, because I do think it's a really versatile bag. Right, just have a look. Okay. What's the size of the blue cipher at the bottom? What have we spotted? Ooh, the leather. So these are a 39. Right, out of the way. These are a 39.5. Oh, Jessie's very kindly pinned the pricing of the dance there, which is £15,950, and that is $17,954 US for the Kelly Dance. Okay, let's have a look. Size of the blue cipher is 39.5 in these, and I think these were featured on the show a while back, so should already be on the website. I believe they come in at about 1,250. And this is in blue canard. Oh, actually, Jessie, they might have been loaded onto the show today. Have we got the pricing for those? Looking for 41. 41s, we do have quite a few in that size at the moment, mostly in the sort of the army green type colours. No, DM us and we can share all of the sizes that we have immediately available in the 41, absolutely. Can we see the Minnie Lindy if we have time? Ooh, which one can we see? We can see, was that the taupe or the lime? Because we actually did cover the lime a little bit earlier on in the show and the details are above us. But we can very quickly, we have 1 minute and we can do Minnie Lindy. I'm really, really keen on this size and style at the moment. This is the Minnie Lindy size. A taupe, great, okay, good, we are on it. A taupe Minnie Lindy. It's a great size. I really rate the wearability of the Minnie Lindy. Nina, ID me later, can't bet now, I need to think I want to break my band. Well, I think it's a great price and it would be around very long, Nina. I know that for sure. I'm really pushing all of the Swift leathers and I really do rate them genuinely. I do think they're a perfect purchase, and they are few and far between, and particularly at such a good price point. I do genuinely love that one. One to think on, Nina. No, this is the taupe Minnie Lindy. This one is a DM to purchase because we didn't actually have the details listed on the show today, but there are further details on the lime, which was featured earlier as well. So this one is with Palladium hardware in Clemence leather. I believe it is U-Stamp 2022, so box fresh, store fresh piece, including all of the plastics on the bottom too. They are a great little purchase. I think they're really wearable bags. Okay, it is 1 minute past 2. That was our Hermes Vault run through this week. Thank you so much for joining us. If you wish to revisit any of the products that we have featured, everything is listed above there. Do they ever come in gold hardware? Yes, they do. No, we don't get very many, I must admit. But I can make sure if we do receive any, we feature them on the coming shows. As I mentioned, we're going to try and do a show from Miami next week, I think. Thank you, and so let's see how that goes. I know that Sabrina is doing a split screen with Jess, I think tomorrow from Miami, and they have some amazing stock. Can't wait to get out there and see some of those pieces. Thank you everybody for joining us this afternoon. I hope you have a wonderful end to the day. I believe there's a show. Jessie, what shows have we got coming up this afternoon? I know that there'll be at least 2, normally a styling show. But stay tuned to the website, obviously, for our afternoon instalments. If you have any questions about any of the pieces featured today, feel free to DM us. We are very happy to answer any questions that you have. Great. Okay, we will see you all next week. Thanks so much for joining.